Today we are tackling the market. Hello and welcome back to my channel. We are back here on beautiful Avalon, my medieval castle core island. And today we are finally going to get more work done on this large medieval market that I've been planning here at the front of my island. We have already built a little section over here to hide our nook's cranny. And we have also built this chapel for our sweet little peasant villagers to visit and put all their hopes and dreams into. I've loved doing these builds so far, and I'm really excited to expand the market over here to the west. I have this large area here that I have covered with the in-game stone pathing, and I'm very, very excited to show you what I have planned. As you can see, this is the entrance to my island as well. So I definitely want, when people come and visit the island, for them to immediately feel the medieval castle core vibes. And kind of the first thing that you see when you enter my island is resident services. And that does not give medieval vibes at all. No. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to start off by doing a little bit of terraforming directly in front of resident services because I want to hide that sucker. I do not want to see it when I first walk into my island. I'm going to build a little cliff right here, but I'm not going to expand it all the way across because I do still want to be able to easily access resident services. Of course, I don't want it to be completely blocked off. So we're just going to hide kind of the left side here of resident services to start with. I've got 3 rows built right here. And now I'm going to climb up and I'm going to place these like beige medieval walls right here. Now this part's a little tricky. So I have these face cutout standees that have a Tudor building style displayed on them. And I really, really love how well they match this colorway of the medieval walls. And so I'm going to go along, and it's kind of tedious because we have to go into our custom designs app, but it's totally worth it because we're going to place a bunch of these in front of our walls, and it's going to make it look like a Tudor style building, which I absolutely love Tudors. If I could, I would totally buy myself a Tudor style home. I think they're so beautiful. I think they're so cozy looking. They're the best. Okay, now that we have the top row of this building complete, we're going to add more of these face cutout standees. And there we go. See, now when you enter my island, you do not see resident services at all. You just see a lovely Tudor style building. You can still very easily access resident services to the right here, but it's still hidden away enough for me at this time. Now on the right side, I'm going to add just a little storefront to just kind of complete the side of the building. We got to add some decoration to the front of the building to make it feel a little bit more lived in, a little bit real. So I'm going to add a few stalls so that we can start adding some shopping areas to this market, of course. So I have these nice kind of medieval codes that I have found online. Again, I will leave all of the codes down below, of course. And for this first stall on the right, I thought it would be kind of fun. I was thinking like, okay, what's medieval? Like what kind of things would you find in a market? And I kept thinking of like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. I don't really know why. And how they have like that little puppet show at the beginning of the movie where they like explain kind of the backstory of Quasimodo. Anyways, so I thought it'd be kind of fun to do like a little puppet show kind of thing using the gyroids. I thought that would work really well. So I have these 2 gyroids that I'm going to place right here on the stall, and then I'm going to add 2 of these box seats so that my villagers can come and sit down and watch the puppet show. I think that's really fun. On the left side of my building, I did add one medieval wall that is brick instead of that beige stone. That's because I want it to kind of feel like there's, 2 separate buildings that are right next to each other. And this is the start of like a new section of the market. And so I was kind of looking through my items and I was like, okay, what other brick items do I have that I can kind of use in this area? And I found my brick oven. And I was like, that would be really cool to add, and kind of just because it has that like, steam coming out of it. And I feel like that would be really cool to kind of have this like moving element with the steam. We're going to add that right there. And then I'm going to place another brick medieval wall to kind of hide the oven, but you can still see the steam coming out. And I just think that's like a really nice effect. So of course, we're going to add some more little booths and shops throughout. And so again, I was like looking through my storage and I was trying to find, okay, what are some items that I can use? And I saw this Plaza game stand. And okay, hear me out. It doesn't necessarily look super medieval when you look at it from the front. But from the side, I don't know. There's something about colored stripes that just says medieval to me, like a little like medieval tent kind of. And I thought it would be kind of a fun thing to add that's kind of hidden next to the storefront. And I'm really excited about how that looks. I feel like the plaza items really work with a medieval island, but you just have to be creative with the way that you use them because they can look pretty modern. But if you kind of have them like hidden here and there, I think they work really well. I'm gonna add a little plant partition next to my church too, and a few other little decorations just to kind of blend these 2 different builds together a little bit more. Okay, now I have kind of this like corner over here to the right next to the church. And I was thinking that it would be nice to add a little bit of a food market section right here. So the first thing I'm going to add is this bathtub with yuzu. I recognize that this is supposed to be like a bath and not like, food. But I think it kind of looks like, a big barrel with apples or something in it. And I feel like it fits well enough with the food theme. And I like how it looks. So don't make a big deal about like, oh, that's a bath. That's not food. I understand. I get it. But for my purposes, I think it looks nice. Okay, I'm going to add a clay furnace as well right here that, again, people can be, cooking different things in the market and selling them. I'm going to add a little table right here too so that I can put some more food items like the bread basket and the vegetable basket as well. And then just a few more little decorations like these bottles. These bottles are very, they just scream like medieval times to me for whatever reason. I don't know. I think about people drinking lots of mead and ale. And so it's just necessary to have a lot of alcohol around for this type of area. Okay, a few more little extra decorations. We, of course, need a brave knight to stand guard at the entrance of the island for people coming to visit. It really helps to sell the idea that this is a medieval island. I'm also going to add this leaf pile just because I love the color. It adds a little pop of color, but also whenever you walk through the leaves, it adds a little bit of extra movement and dimension. So the leaf piles are always a wonderful thing to add. And then I'm going to come back over to this stall because I completely forgot to decorate it. And I'm going to just make it into a little pottery shop with lots of different types of vases. Okay, I want to move over to the left side now. And I'm really going to go full out, finally, with this alleyway that has been sitting here on my island for quite some time now. I feel like it's been at least like a month or 2 that it's been sitting here, and I finally am ready to officially decorate it. So the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to extend out this brick building right here that we have. I want to have a nice archway that leads you to this alley. And I love this kind of like ruined, mossy castle wall texture. I think this is great for my kind of like dirty medieval market. So I'm going to add some more of the castle walls around the archway to kind of fill in this area. And I just feel like that's a great transition piece into the alleyway. Okay, I'm gonna add another stall here. And you know what? Actually, I'm gonna switch these two stalls around because I kind of like this light blue stall code a little bit better. Especially for like the entrance of my island, because I think this is a little bit more fancy, and a little bit cooler looking. And I like the color combo with like the bright red and purple and this like blue and red. Oh, hey Ace. Hey, this whole market is not for you. You're not going to be here much longer. My next goal for this island is to finally kick off this man. Okay, so we have this stall with like this kind of like brown and yellow colorway, and then I'm adding another knight to again guard this section of the island as well. Okay, so directly behind this castle wall and this arch, I'm going to place this plaza carousel because once again, I just feel like it kind of looks like a medieval tent. I like the little purple flag at the top. I have stopped it so that it's not moving or anything. And then I'm also going to put again another plaza game stand over here in a different colorway so that it's just we have a little bit of variety here. And yeah, there's just something about like the colorful stripes that just screams medieval times to me. And so I'm really happy about that. I'm going to grab a few more items from my storage real quick because we are going to fill this alleyway up. I want it to look slightly chaotic and a little bit like grungy and dirty. Almost like it's maybe like kind of an unsafe area to walk through, maybe. Okay, right here in this little section, I'm going to add these little flowers on the ground. I think that's nice, adds a little pop of color and a little natural element. And we're going to start adding a few more items to fill in our nice alleyway. We're going to first add this cypress bathtub. And I have it kind of in this like brownish water colorway. And I like it a lot. And then right next to it, I'm going to add a storefront. Now I do want to cover up the cliffside behind this bathtub. And so I'm just going to use some good old bookshelves that are turned around, and I'm going to push it up against the cliffside and put it right behind this bathtub because we want to create the illusion that these are actual buildings as best we can. Then I'm going to add just another bookshelf right next to it and another few just little items like this stall and a barrel. Then I'm going to add a few more bookshelves over to the right. And again, I want this area to be kind of chaotic. And so I'm adding just a few different types of walls like bookshelves and some more of these rustic, mossy, ruined castle walls. I have another stall, and then I'm going to go around because it is time to add the rest of our building sides up on the second level right here. So there's really no like rhyme or reason to how I'm placing these different walls. Really want it to be as haphazard and mismatched as possible, other than maybe adding these particular brick medieval walls over here by this one that is facing the front of the island. Okay, so we're walking through. I feel like it's starting to come together a bit, but we definitely need more items. We want this to look cluttered. So I'm going to grab a few more items here and there, like maybe this water pump and this hay bed and maybe this plant. So now we're going to put a couple tables so that we have some surfaces to place our items on. And we're going to just kind of see what fits in here and what works. Adding a few candles here and there so that we can have some extra light. especially in the evening as we're walking along. So now I'm going to come over here to this stall because we still have not put anything on here yet. And I'm going to add this Magic Academy hood because maybe this is like a little, clothing boutique thing, whatever. And I'm also going to add these court jester shoes as well. And I'm not really feeling this stall. I feel like, what's the point in putting items on here? You can't even see it with this wall. So I'm going to remove this actually. And I'm going to place this little seat right here so that our villagers, when they're coming in through here, they can still have some nice places to sit. And I'm just going to add another clay furnace as well. So there's another spot where people can be cooking food and then selling said food. I have this little patchwork table, which really doesn't look like a table to me. It has always looked like like a long cushion that goes on the ground, but I kind of like it. And so on top of that, I'm going to add this cornucopia, which I really like. It adds a lot of extra color. Gonna add a little stool over here and put this Arthurium plant on top and just a few other little details here and there. And then finishing off with the rest of these building sides to divide this alleyway from resident services. I will be adding some more of these castle walls and medieval walls on the bottom level, but I'm just not going to do that today because there's already a lot of work that is getting done around here right now. Okay, I'm just going to come back through the alley, see if there's anything else that we need to add right here. I'm really, really happy with how this is looking. And there you have it. This is my entrance to Avalon as well as the center of my medieval market. I'm so happy with this. I love all of the little details and I love these codes with the Tudor side buildings. I love this little puppet show where you can sit, and I also added a little tomato so that if some of my villagers are not happy with the puppet show, they can throw a tomato. I love this little food section in this corner as well next to the chapel. I'm really happy with how this is looking. And I love how it connects to the other part of the market and to resident services. I feel like it all flows really well together. And here is my alleyway. I'm really happy with how this looks as well. I love the combination of items and the different colors. There's so many nice details to look at, and I really love the carousel as well. I also love this little section here too. Sometimes it's hard to come up with good transition sections for your island where one area leads into the next. But I'm really happy with this. I love the colorway that I chose for these castle walls and for the arch. I think it looks really nice. Now, if you're curious, there is this large empty section right here to the left that I still have not decorated, and that is because I am leaving this section open for a tavern that we will be building very, very soon. I'm very excited about this. I have lots of great plans, and I think it's going to be a nice little eatery for my sweet villagers to come and enjoy a glass of mead and some roast duck, or I don't know, something like that. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this build. It was really fun. And coming up soon, we will be kicking Ace off of our island, as well as continuing to do a bunch of fun builds like our farm, our enchanted forest, and working some more on our medieval castle. So I hope you're looking forward to that, and I will see you next time here on Avalon. Bye!